I'm live. Hello, I'm Dr. Harold Lancer. I'm the founder of Lancer Skincare, and this is Lancer Dermatology. Welcome to my home. I probably spend more time in this clinic than I do at my home, so welcome to my home. Anyway, Lancer Skincare, I'm the founder, and there are some products that we've developed over the last 20 plus years. And you may have heard there's a Lancer method, a polish, cleanse, and nourish. And there's a travel kit that goes with it, but nonetheless there are many products within the line, and they all serve to give you a rapid improvement in skin care quality of that glow. So today we want to tell you about one special additive that I'm personally very excited about. When we were first talking about the development of a specific type of skin care mask about 2 years ago, and it's taken us about 2 years to develop this. We were thinking about a special type of delivery system for a facial mask that can be used, by the way, not only on the face, but the neck, chest, and other body parts, the upper arms, the shoulders, the hands. So this new awakening mask is a magnetic product, and it works like a charm. I'm personally so excited because I don't think anybody can resist using this. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then Alyssa, our beautiful model, will show you how it works, because she usually doesn't look like this. She has the mask on. Well, I don't know. I don't see her all the time. She may look like this all the time, but today I know she has the mask on. So as you see, it comes in this incredibly packaged portfolio here, and there are little pods. They look like this, like so, and there are 4 of them in a case, and they're meant to be used 1 pod per week, so a 1-month supply. And there's an applicator right here, adorable applicator. And then there's this special super duper magnet, which, if I can get it out of here, looks like this. And the beauty of this system is not only what I'm going to tell you about the mask, but the way it's used, and the fact that this magnetic mask is designed to be used with this magnetic removal device. They're tuned to be used together, so it's not just one of those random events. So as I said, it's taken us about 2 years to develop this, and it's a mask that's designed to actually not only freshen the skin, but to deliver an active ingredient, a product called hydroxypinocolate, which is a new type of retinoid. And it's safe during pregnancy for the women in the audience. The men, I don't think, really care about that. But nonetheless, it's safe during pregnancy, it's safe during breastfeeding, and it makes it different than other forms of retinoic acid. So it's a mask, unusual delivery system, unique in its class, and I think it's novel in that it took us this long to develop it. And for what it does, it delivers just one of the most active ingredients for making the skin cells repair themselves at a faster rate. So you see, Alyssa here, naturally a gorgeous girl, which is obvious even under the mask, but she's placed it on there, and the thing is, she did it perfectly. So why don't you tell us how you put that on there?
Yes, so we're welcoming all questions from the audience, and I'm going to be walking through some questions as well. Please bring those in, and one lucky winner will win this mask by the end of the day today. So stay tuned with us. You do open the pod, it's very simple, and you can apply with this little tool. So in small areas around your eye, or you can rub it in with your hands with bigger tools as well, like I did today. And it's been on for about 10 minutes or so, and is that what's recommended?
Yeah, you usually put it on, and I have to tell you, she put it on beautifully, which is important. You have to put it on uniformly, and you can put it all the way to the hairline. You can put it a little bit closer to the eyelash line, and you can put it on closer to the ears and onto the neck and to the chest area because of the sun-damaged area on the chest. So it's one of those products that has multiple beneficial components to it, but the way she's put it on is really stunningly flawless. So sort of the audience should be paying attention to how it's done because it's uniform in the way it was placed. And while it's on there, it's usually kept on for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. Some people keep it on even longer. And by the way, some people use it more than once weekly. There are some individuals who will use it maybe every other night. They'll use it for special occasions. And how it's put on is important, but how it's removed is even more dramatic.
We actually have a few questions coming in from the audience already, Dr. Lancet, with Susie asking, why are you not putting it on or around your lips?
That's a really good question. And the answer is, that's a great question because you can put it around the lips because it'll help with improving coloration. You know, some of those dark sort of mustache areas that occur in some women, part of it has to do with hair growth, some of it has to do with sun exposure, sun damage, but you can use it all the way around this area of the lip, onto the lip margin, because with enough repetitive use, it'll help fade some of those lipstick bleed lines. So the answer is yes, it can be used on the lip area. I'm not sure if it's tasty, so I would prefer that you don't eat it. But for those of you who are wondering, I know you're wondering, don't eat the mask, please. But you can use it on the upper lip, the lower lip, and it works like a charm. But that was a very good question.
So we'll start removing it a little bit as well. And
now I want you to pay attention to this, because this is a home run visual that there's nothing like it anywhere on the known planet that works this well. Go ahead.
Where should I start?
Your choice. You know what? I think for a visual, why don't you just start like up here a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I don't touch my skin with it, right?
Yeah. And you have to actually see it from an angle. The way the material. Turn your head a little bit to the side. If you can see, number one, you can see them right there. Okay? And then actually to the side, if you actually watch the way it pulls the actual crystals off.
And should we be cleaning this in between?
Yeah. There you go. Everyone who uses this should have their own valet to help them clean this off. I think it would be a good thing. There you go.
And if you wanted to be using a tissue with it, you could use that as well because it's
Correct.
very strong. So
Right.
we can put a tissue on it as well.
But you have to actually watch the way it lifts it off so uniformly. There is no product that is this high a quality in terms of production with the way the crystals are delivering their active ingredient and the way they are lifted by the magnet that's tuned to those crystals. And there's a little bit of a vibration that occurs in terms of the magnet and the interaction of the crystals. There's a little bit of a vibration, a harmonic it's called, and that allows for greater penetrance of the active ingredients, the hydroxypitacolate. So it's a mask that delivers in many ways, but an active ingredient, and the way the material is removed, the delivery system, leaves the skin crystal clear. And if the audience were able to actually feel this, there's a natural smoothness, and you can feel the remaining product left in place.
So there's a question coming in from Sarah who asks, why do you have to wrap it in the tissue? Now, you don't actually have to wrap it in the tissue, but can you explain why that would be useful?
Well, you don't have to wrap it in the tissue, but I think that number one, if you use the tissue, it makes cleaning the magnet easier because you just dispose of the tissue. And then the second reason is that for some people, they just feel more comfortable removing the encapsulated iron delivery system that way, because sometimes women are accustomed in particular to using tissues to apply and remove cosmetic-based treatments to the skin.
Now, there's a few questions coming in regards to blackheads. So Shannon asked, does it pull blackheads? And also there's a question, does this help with blackheads, especially on the nose?
You're going to find that the active ingredient is really what is used to soften the congested pore. You know, there are blackheads, there are whiteheads, there are all these terms that the public uses, but it's basically a congested pore. And there's an oil, there's a wax, there are dead skin cells. So yes, the product and the process helps clear some of the pore structure, but the more important part of it is that the remaining active ingredient left behind helps re-regulate pore structure. So it's an important part of that. And if you see when she's removing it, and then she'll go back and remove all of it, it's thoroughly removing the delivery system. And I really wish you could feel how smooth and silky the skin's left behind. And that's the active ingredient being left behind.
Now, a few people are asking about, I guess, different uses for this, potentially. So there's a question, does this fade acne scars and brown spots?
You're going to find, again, that you're going to find that when it comes to acne imperfections, when it comes to discolorations, you need to use the entire Lancer method. There's a polish, a cleanse, a nourish. That's for sensitive skin, for blemish-prone skin. There's for the anti-aging skin. So there's the polish, cleanse, nourish for those three categories. But there are other products. The Serum Fade Intense will help improve discoloration. The retexturizing product will help improve some of the other textural components. So there are other products in the line that help with color correction, as well as pore structure, acne, etc. This product in particular and its method of use will help improve some of those things, but it's primarily because of the active ingredient in it.
If I'm using the method every day, when would I apply this? In between, after, at night?
Well, I think the best time to use the active ingredients such as this, a very, very highly produced product, it's very complex chemistry, is to use it at night. And the best time to use it is, for example, you've used the cleanse at night, you've rinsed, you use the polish, you've rinsed, and then it's applied as a mask, 15 minutes left in place, then removed, and then you can use the stem cell lift afterwards, you can use some of the vitamin C afterwards, the Night Treat Intense afterwards, or the Nourish. So it's used before an additional product is placed on top of it.
So there's a few more questions coming in. Two from Shannon, who asks, does it soften fine lines around eyes, and does it help other products absorb?
The people who are watching this are really smart, because the questions are just like the questions I get in my office. The answer is that it helps. The active ingredients in this mask will help the other products in the line work better. That is true. And it also helps the other products absorb more efficiently into the skin, because while that mask has been in place and the magnetic harmonic that's used to remove it, the pore structure is more accessible to the product penetration. So it's true that using the mask allows many of the other products in the skincare line to work better by being absorbed more readily.
And it feels very cooling once you start to take it off, and it's very soft. In the moment when I put it on, it was starting to get a little bit warm and kind of tingly, but that's pretty normal.
Yeah, you'll find that when you have high quality ingredients that are absolutely in this and all the other products, you'll find that there's a warming sensation, part of it because of the chemistry involved, and part of it because it's increasing blood flow to the skin, which is necessary for increased metabolism in the skin. So that warming component is a sign of activity, of chemistry. And then you'll find that after you remove it, the skin feels so silky smooth, and then it starts to cool. And the cooling has to do with some of the relaxation of the small muscular components in the skin. And so it's all one big equation where the skin is getting healthier.
So typically, how long is the process, and how should we protect our skin between uses, is some of the questions coming in also.
Well, I think that the way to look at the Lancer method altogether is it's a program. It's not something for intermittent use. It's meant for people who really care about their complexion from head to toe, because as the viewers know, there's a body protocol, a polish, cleanse, and nourish for the body that the Lancer program has. So the products are designed for daily use, and you'll find that with ongoing daily use, there's a greater cumulative benefit. And so what happens is that if you use this mask, let's say 3 times weekly, Then you may find that some other weeks you'll use it only once weekly, sometimes every other week. And then sometimes for special occasions, which I'm sure you go to a lot of special occasions, I can just tell. Or you should be going to a lot of special occasions. And if not, somebody will get you to go. Then I think it's a matter of you use it as needed. But the program is meant to be used daily. You may not need every component every day, but the concept is daily.
So there's also another question coming in from Patricia, who asks, is it safe for teenagers?
Patricia, which happens to be a favorite name of mine, sort of sounds fancy. Teenagers, I guess, started at today, age 10. It's perfectly common in my office to have a 10-year-old ask me about skincare issues that have nothing to do with acne. So to answer the question, it's safe in teenagers, even if you're a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, or a teen 13-year-old. It's common to use these products and they're safe to use.
And then another question coming in from Sarah asked, how is it for wrinkles and acne? So I know you've spoken about this previously, but could you tell us again, specifically for wrinkles and acne, how it works?
Well, you're going to find that every individual, and it's an important question, every individual does not have a single skin type. Because think about it, and I want everyone to learn something from this because I tell this to all my patients. A human being is not born with a specific skin type. From minute to minute, the skin changes. And so when you're a 15-year-old or a 50-year-old, your skin at 6 a.m. is very different than it is at 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 10 p.m. So you'll find that skin needs pampering differently from day to day. And that's why the Lancer method is so important, because as you vary the way the skin appears, sometimes it's oilier, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's drier, sometimes it's not. You'll find that different components of the skincare brand work well to take care of a certain circumstance at that particular time.
And just one final question coming in from the audience, just a bit of a recap for everyone, and Sarah was asking this as well. How does the dirt, as she puts it, stick to the magnet exactly? Could we give a bit of a recap for the audience?
Well, what happens is the skin, before the mask is used, the skin is polished, rinsed, cleansed, rinsed, and then the mask is applied. When the mask is applied, it's an encapsulated iron liposome base, and so it's sort of captured. And when the magnet removes it and it leaves the active ingredient behind, there is no dirt left. So it may look like an ordinary mud mask, but it's not. So it's not a dirt mask, it's a delivery system. And the system is totally foolproof in terms of removing any of the excess delivery material, leaving the active behind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lancer, and thank you to the audience for all the awesome questions. This was really great. We can get a close-up on this later, but it's very smooth. It feels awesome. It filled in definitely some fine lines for me. And don't forget your chance to win the Younger mask that's now available on Dermstore.com. Thanks.
Terrific. It's been fun.